Hello everyone, welcome to Hans Tech Lab. Today we will learn how to create tables in MySQL. In the previous video, we have learned how to create schema in MySQL using MySQL Workbench. In this video, we will learn how to create tables in MySQL. So, in this first schema, which we have created previously, there are a few things: tables, views, stored procedures, functions, but none of them has actual tables. So I am going to create a table. So just right click on this tables. You will find create table option. There are two ways of creating tables. One is using this UI. The other one is using query. First, we will go with the UI. So once you click on the create table, a new table tab has been opened. So I'll just change the name of the table. I will call it as employee. There are a few more things which are required, which we can use, but for simplicity, I am just going with the employee name and very basic things like columns. So the first column, I will just call it as employee ID, and the data type is integer, and I'll make it as primary key and not null. We will discuss this primary key, not null, all the constraints in the upcoming videos. So then I will create one more column. I will call it as employee name, and I will give it as varchar, which is similar to string in Java. So there is one more parameter 45, which is the length of the column. So I will make it as 100. By default, it will give as 45. Now I will create one more employee date of birth. So as it is a date, I will just open the drop down and make it as date. And just I will apply, and you can see here a query has been created, which is a DDL. I will just click on apply and execute SQL statements, then finish. Now you can see a employee table has been created. Now as you can see here, there are columns in this employee table. We can further go in detail by clicking on this I button, which is information button, which will give us all the information about this created table, like what is the column count, what are the table rows. Currently, we have just created the table, we have not inserted any record, so the table records rows is 0. And so many things we will discuss later. Then number of columns, and then indexes, triggers. So we have not added much details, so we will discuss this in later videos. So as you can see, the DDL which we have generated using the MySQL Workbench is appearing here. I'll just copy it for future use. So here is the way how to create the table. Now there is one more button here, which is settings button. There you can edit this table and update the structure of this table. Okay, if you want, you can add one more column, or if you want, you can change the uh, size of this column, or if you want, you can change the type of the column, or if you want, you can add the constraint of the column. Anything we can perform here. I am leaving it for now. Then we have one more option, which is running the select statement. As you can see, select star from the schema.employee. But we don't have any records here, so it's not giving any record. So one more way how to create the table is just by running a query. I had copied the command. I will just use it, and I will just create one more table, student, with this query, student, student name, and student date of birth, and primary key as student ID. So if I run this, first let me comment this, create schema, then let me run this one. By clicking on here, it executed. execute the selected portion, it will create the new table. We can see the whether it got created or not from here. So there is some error. Let us see what is the error. It is saying no database selected. So we have not added the name of the schema. Let me add the name of the schema as well. Create schema dot for schema dot student. Now I will run it again. Now you can see here the table has been created. So we can make this schema as default schema also. Before that, let me show you by refreshing here. The student table also has been created with the same columns. Now, if you want to make this first schema as default, you can set as default schema. Then we don't need to add this schema name in the DDL command. Now let me run with one more employee, or we can use patient table and run it. I'm not giving here the first schema, and you can see here table has been created without the schema name, as I have made it the default schema. You can refresh it, you will find the patient table as well. So here is a short demonstration of how to create tables in the MySQL. So we will discuss in the upcoming videos many more things related to the data types, related to the uh, length of the data columns, and related to the constraints, related to the primary key. Everything we will discuss in the upcoming videos. Hope you like the video. Thank you, and please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.